the Badcat show. This is something different.
Is this episode 7?
Oh, God. I stopped counting. I think around like 8 or 9. I don't know. Just had one last night, too. I was like, fuck, I'm not even going to say it. But we're here to talk about something different besides art, you know. There's a lot going on in our city. Something happened that was really crazy. I don't know if it's crazy anymore because this shit keeps happening to us, but like it just sucks that it happened because we're trying to get over, you know, the first situation too. Local cop opened fired on this kid. I mean, it's right to say he was a kid. He's young. He was young, you know. 20 years old. Has a kid too. Had a family. And the cop mistaken their taser or their gun for a taser.
Which is ridiculous.
I don't know if anyone's seen the body cam footage, you know, just screaming, taser, 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 and just open fired, like, expecting what, a taser to come out? Like, nah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things where they make it obviously different weaponry. Like, have it on a different angle of the hip. They have it a
completely
different weight.
Different side of the hip.
They both have a safety lock, so you have to unlock it. So at that point, you should be realizing this is different. And after working 25 plus years on the force, and you're training someone in, and you don't know what fucking weapon you're using. Yeah, I shouldn't be cussing this much, but yeah,
like you said earlier, they're probably riding around with the safety off. Like they just see like, oh, this is a young black man. I'm gonna be prepared.
Yep.
That's what's scary.
Yep.
It's like. To be a veteran on the police force like that and still mistake your gun for a taser, obviously this was blatant.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This was intentional.
Exactly.
This was done on purpose. I mean, clearly a gun weighs more. If you are that much of a veteran on the police force, you know how a gun feels in your hand.
Especially training someone.
You know how a taser feels in your hand, especially... Clearly, if you just are able to kill somebody like that, an unarmed person like that, you have brought your gun out on multiple occasions. I don't put that past a person who would just kill somebody blatantly.
Right.
If you haven't brought your gun out multiple times, you brought your taser out multiple times. How don't you know the difference by now?
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, it's like the facts and the evidence are always right in front of our faces, but is that ever considered when it comes to the law?
Right.
Exactly.
So it also makes you question the law then. Who are these laws meant to work for?
Right.
Are they meant to work for protecting and serving the people or protecting and serving the police? Because I thought that was a police job.
It's not in our favor.
You know?
That's for damn sure.
It's not in our favor at all. It's not in the people's favor, and it's definitely not in people of color's favor.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
There were some discussions about like him having a warrant, and in certain cases with
what was the warrant for too? Wasn't it for a misdemeanor weed charge, right?
Yeah, no, what I was gonna say is that like people are saying that with certain warrants, firing when they're trying to flee is one of the requirements, but that's only for felony warrants. This was a gross misdemeanor warrant.
Exactly.
Which is vastly different.
Yeah.
And to even think that someone needed to be shot and killed for honestly just expired tabs.
You know?
Yeah.
Just it.
Was it tabs? I thought it was the air freshener.
People are saying both.
It was both of them. Okay. So it was the tabs, it was the air freshener, but it's like it's one thing to pull your taser, which you know he was trying to flee. That's understandable. You got to pull your taser. You got to do your job. But you literally shot a person
with a passenger.
You know, with a passenger in the car, 20-year-old unarmed person. There's no need for lethal force when you're just doing a routine traffic stop.
Right. Especially training
if this
someone.
Person was a murderer, even if they were a murderer, if they're not a threat to you, they're unarmed, how come you can't just use your police grade mace that you have that takes hours and hours to, you know what I'm saying, come down from? Or how come you can't use your actual taser? This woman did this on purpose.
Point blank.
It's no other, there's no other explanation for it.
Period.
It's a bad rep for the police, because what type of training are you giving your officers that they don't know?
He's training them,
You know?
so we know.
You don't know the difference between a taser and a gun. Now imagine if she gets off with this, how many other officers are going to get away with shooting people with a real gun because they mistaked it for a taser?
Here's the thing. Apparently, all of our training officers, or like officers that are training people are training them into killing black people.
You see?
Because Derek Chauvin was also training 2 officers that day, right?
Yep.
So...
And he's had like interactions too with like killing people, right? Hasn't he like actually?
He's had other
he's
police
got some murders
brutality
under
things
his belt.
on his record for sure.
They showed that on the trial today. They showed one of them where he kind of reached into the window and like grabbed somebody's wrist like super aggressively and pulled them out of the car, and it's just like,
police.
If you stop these police officers when they are using excessive force, if you stop it right at the beginning, cut their pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something that's going to make them think twice about it. First of all,
that's what I was going to bring up too. Like, what's a modern solution? I feel like giving them a fine or cutting their pay and prison time.
That completely invalidates the purpose of the police force.
Exactly.
They are not here to protect or serve us.
Yeah.
They were never here to do that.
Yeah, it's about to go down here in a minute. We out here, Booker Center. We out here. We out here, front lines, Booker Center. I don't know why the niggas are honking. I don't know what that's gonna do, but we out here though. They're deep as fuck. Fucking freezing out here, snowing. I'm out here trying to record and shit. We out here. They're thick as fuck. They're about to be flanking us here. Won't take long until we get shot at again. What's up, baby?
Their payment, like the reason why they're being paid is to make us subservient to the upper class, whether that be by race or by class.
Right.
People
but still,
with money can
if they
can
have
pay
that
them
over
off.
their head, though, they'll think twice about it. Like, if it's mandatory that, like, you know,
but the thing is,
they'll think twice because they know they can get away with it.
This whole system is not set up for that.
Right.
You would need an entirely different system.
Right. Unfortunately.
Like, you can't just be like, oh, we're gonna do this and make certain consequences for when this thing happens. When the thing is, this is the whole purpose of this system in the first place.
Right.
This is the police system is doing exactly what it's meant to do.
We shouldn't have to punish police officers for stuff that they're supposed to be trying to stop and reduce. But it's like...
But the tables have turned now and we're getting killed.
We should punish for them, but the
especially
thing is,
after this trial is going to come out.
We have to, though, is what I'm saying.
No, we shouldn't have to.
Well,
they
of course.
are the police. They're
Bottom
here
line.
to protect and serve and make sure that the law gets upheld.
But that shit's dead now.
The thing is, the thing is, they were never here to protect and serve. We need an entirely different system meant to protect and serve, which I feel like that's a lot of our community organizations. When it came to exemptions for tonight's curfew, which tonight is Tuesday for those people listening in, there was, I think, 7 different cities with curfews.
Not counties. Not counties.
Not counties.
Yeah.
7 different.
So
It was by cities.
Yeah.
Different cities made their separate statements. For Minneapolis, I mean, most of them it was law enforcement.
And Brooklyn Center's not doing it.
Brooklyn
weird?
Center is not having. I mean, they haven't had a curfew. Right now that we've noted.
Yeah, that's weird.
But
I wonder why.
So all of the cities, the exceptions are law enforcement, religious events, and emergency services.
Press.
But for Minneapolis, they also included community organizations used for like watching. So I forgot some of those. There's like an outreach organization.
I need to get papers.
So like media.
I need credentials.
No. Press is automatically exempt from that. This is separate from press. This is community organizations focused on just keeping out for the community. So they're
kind of like what this
watch.
Is. Like, say we were out there like donating or like looking out or
not
had a
even
station
that.
set up.
It's literally just community watch.
Gotcha.
So different regions in Minneapolis, there's community watch organizations. You can sign up and be listed on a schedule, but you will go around your community late at night and make sure that everything's all right. That way you don't have as much community or as much police presence in your community as you would otherwise. But I think there was 10 night watch community organizations that were exempt in Minneapolis, which I think is great. But I mean, aside from that, we shouldn't even have curfews to begin with. So
everyone breaks them anyway, and I don't think a lot of people got arrested unless they were like snatched up.
It was
from the crowd.
It was 38 people, but at the same time, I mean,
because they couldn't really
a lot of
everyone
not
like
a
that.
lot, but a decent amount of those people were minors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and a lot of them weren't doing anything specifically malicious or violent.
Nope.
Some
it's
of them
just the breaking curfew thing. That's their excuse to snatch people up, use the tear gas, use all those tactics.
But you literally put in a law. First of all, 7 p.m. curfew is ridiculous because the thing is, we're in a pandemic right now. You're making sure that people can't work after 7.
Yep.
I mean, it's not going on forever, but like I get it.
It's not going on
and
forever.
Then the
but
stores are
going
to close and people are going to start looting earlier. I feel like
where I work, we close at 11 p.m. That is 4 hours that someone loses on work.
People can't afford to take any type of pay cuts or any type of anything.
That's
but
not
I could see how
pay.
it could be dangerous though if you get off work late. People are already looting at that point too. Though, wouldn't you rather be home safe and close up shop?
People weren't even looting, but they're not harming other people.
Right.
So,
exactly.
No one's in the stores.
Exactly.
Right.
So
and also they were focused on corporate organizations.
Right.
And at the same time,
fuck you, Target.
Looting looting didn't really happen during the day. It was at night.
It was mostly at night.
So you're having stores close early.
Yep.
But
so that they can be looted early.
Yep.
But see, the reason why they're doing the curfew so earlier they did is because so they can use that lethal force on people.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So they can just snatch them up.
Yep.
They want an excuse.
That's
literally all
exactly
it is.
all.
Because everyone's going to be out there regardless.
Every time they put in a curfew, it's just an excuse.
Yeah.
There's never a good reason to put in a curfew for looting.
We saw that we saw this one cop on the live last night just smiling the whole time, like going up the front lines, like. He was loving the attention, man. He was just.
Are you talking about the captain?
Yeah.
The captain, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, he loves it.
He was loving it.
He's eating that up.
He was.
A lot of cops are like, honestly,
They're
I'm gonna keep it
100.
I'm gonna be raw with this. Like, when I pass the cops, I'm like, fuck 12.
Every time.
Middle fingers out every single time. And it's like, they laugh at it. They look at it like it's a joke. But when I'm doing it, it makes me angry in that moment to see them because it's like. You guys, I'm seeing you guys now, not only in the regular cars that they're usually in, but now they're in F-150s. You know what I'm saying?
It's because they got a budget increase.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, how are we
huge
still...
budget increase.
Yeah, it was like in the past 4 months.
Those new uniforms from last night, you see all those?
Like, kids, like, what about... Damn. We think about how much money the police are making just for, like, using excessive force on people, but then you got issues like homelessness and... kids in school needing supplies and stuff, but we are using government funding to fund
our taxes.
People who aren't even trained correctly. You know what I'm saying? When they come in,
militarized police
people,
force.
you know what I'm saying? They're like their own
That's
gang.
why we need to defund them.
Like, and they're the most powerful gang.
This is one of the largest.
It's the government.
Police
They can get
force
away with it.
pushes.
They can get away with it.
No, this is one of the largest police force pushes that they had was last night.
Yeah.
That was
They
were
brought in the
deep.
actual National Guard. They were on every corner.
They were deep.
SWAT from
Huge armored
separate
trucks, SWATs.
counties.
Yep.
Eden Prairie.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I was like, what? Like SLP, like okay, that was a little different, like, but like still.
The people in that community in that city don't even like coming to Minneapolis. So,
no, that's why they live in Eden Prairie. Seriously. Cake eating ass motherfuckers.
Police officers in Minneapolis. Why? They don't even know how to begin to deal with anybody in Minneapolis, I'm sure, because they probably automatically look at it like, oh, these are uncivilized people just because we're in the city and because it's people of color. And you know,
people over here.
and it's like that mindset is just like, that mindset is already flawed, and that mindset is from when the police first started. When they first started, it was to regulate black people still.
Exactly.
So when you have a system, just like all of the laws in the Constitution and all of that, when it's regulated,
it's set up for us to fail.
It's literally set up for people of color.
Exactly what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to do. So it's like, you know, like when it's literally targeting people of color, and it's literally saving white people, and it's even worse for black people because it's like, this system was mostly put in place to oppress black people. So it's like they're doing it, but it's even times 10 now because back then you heard about the killing. You didn't see the killing on media. You did some of them.
Wait, I was gonna say those postcards, those lynching postcards.
Yeah, you did see some of them, but it's not. It's like it's almost like a norm now. We shouldn't be able to go on YouTube and see a black person being murdered. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's definitely easier to see those things now because of technology, because of the
which is a good thing.
You
know, and
it's a good thing for proof.
I mean, there's a lot of white people too. They're like, oh, this isn't good.
But at the same
this is
time,
happening in my neighborhood.
It is trauma porn, which we talked about.
Yeah, trauma porn.
It is meant to terrorize us on a massive level.
To put fear in our hearts, and it's meant to oppress us, just like how they've been oppressing us.
I'm sorry.
So, like, when it comes to the police, like, I literally look at them as they are part of the government. The government is literally oppressing people of color, of all color, but really, really trying to put that stamp on it when it comes to black people, because it's constantly our people being killed and having that shit showed every single day. It's like we can't escape it. So, you know,
all we have to do is have them
traumatizing.
get justice, and then things would start to change. I feel like,
Well,
because
here's the
cops
thing
don't
is-
want to like be shown like
But
that.
even
And
when
we don't want to
y'all-
be killed like that. I
I
feel like it
feel
would
like
help
that-
a little bit. We would be
it-
at ease.
It'll definitely help a little bit, but at the same time, it is a Band-Aid on a much bigger problem. Because here's the thing. I feel like, and I like literally just thought about this, is this system is like a house with termites, and it is eating the wood apart.
Literally.
Our people, we built this country.
Yeah.
We really did.
It's built off the backs of people in color.
Yup. And this police force is targeting our community, and it has been since the very beginning. Termites in the wood. This foundation is broken. You can move in and you can try to fix each beam and everything, but until you literally tear it all down, go up from the beginning, we aren't going to improve. You can improve a beam, that's only going to help one section of it. But all the other places are going to be like, oh, that's supported? That's fine.
We need reform.
We need
reform altogether. And outside of, you know, even when you think about justice, getting justice, it's like, how do you get justice for a life lost? This is a life that somebody cannot get back. This is a family member that's loved and cared about.
We could just try to prevent it from happening again.
No amount of money can replace this person. No amount of anything you do, even if we do get the verdict that we want, it's still not going to mend that broken heart. It's still not going to, you know what I'm saying? Think about the family and how sick it is to wake up every day and know that, like, so many people are watching this, and then you have to sit there and watch your loved one be murdered over and over again. You know, it's kind
just
of sad.
I mean, it sucks it's in our city, but at the same time, it's a good thing for us to really focus on what's going on and be like, okay, this actually isn't going to stop. Like, this just happened not even a year ago.
I already knew it wasn't going to stop.
And, and then for somebody to intentionally kill a young black person, a 20-year-old person, at a traffic stop during the trials right now that we're having for a murder, not a police killing, a murder that happened a whole year ago by a police officer.
Slow death, that's torture.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's torture, number one. Like, people shouldn't have to sit there and watch that. It's important to watch it so we get all the facts and the evidence and everything, but it's like, it's just something that shouldn't be happening in the first place.
Right.
Yeah. So
we needed a movement too.
Even justice
sucks.
Even justice is still, it's no justice. Like, how I feel nowadays, it's like, we need a life for a life. You took a life. We need a life. Like, that's the type of mindset that
blood
I think on.
That's why we're going up too.
Life. Like, y'all need to stop killing us.
Just stop killing us. Just stop killing us. Period.
So that's why we're going up too. We're angry.
It's anger, and it's hurt, it's sadness, it's mourning, and all of that comes out, and people think it's, you just want to have a reason to do this, but it's like, no. That black man could have been my brother, my uncle, my cousin, my grandfather. That black woman could have been me. Or the next, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could.
My instincts is to run all the time when it comes to police. Like, I've done it before.
We should not have to run from somebody that's supposed to protect and serve us.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say, you mentioned, like, people being upset about how people react to this. Mm-hmm. And I want to sort of focus in on looting a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to say that with looting, there should not be as much of a condemnation for it, especially in these times. We're in the middle of a pandemic.
Yep.
We can barely get a stimulus check.
You feel me?
$600?
Who's going to live off of that for a month?
Exactly. And these corporations...
Me as a teenager, I couldn't even live off of that. You feel me?
Exactly. And corporations, i.e. Target, are funding the police department.
Oh, yeah.
The Minneapolis Police Department.
Target, Whole Foods. Mm-hmm. Whole Foods is a part of the whole prison labor for free.
Yep.
Like,
and bringing it back to when Target burned down off of Hiawatha and Lake, that Target, they had made a partnership with that, I think it was the 3rd precinct over there, to have facial recognition surveillance in their cameras. They got my face, so I'm glad they shit burned down.
Right.
Like, how are you going to build that up? And they were that was research to be put into poor communities. Mm-hmm. They were going to put that facial recognition in other marginalized communities. Yeah. Not in the rich neighborhoods, not in all neighborhoods. They're going to target by class and by race.
Yeah, and that also brings me back to the George Floyd killing, because speaking on Cup Foods is a big part of that community. It has been even since when I was a little girl. Like, I grew up in South Minneapolis, so I used to go there and eat there all the time. Cup Foods is nothing new to me, but at the same instance, it's like, I recently found out Cup Foods was working with the police, number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, when you're in a predominantly black neighborhood and it's like you're getting all the money from these black people and you're doing all this stuff, but then you have police officers and security literally surveying your place every weekend, knowing that you're in a black neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. It's like, you got to choose what you want to do. If you want to do a bunch of stuff that is not legal, then do that. If you want to be involved with the police and you want to make sure you're keeping your establishment safe, do that. But it's like, pick a side. Choose what you want to do. These people, that's why it's terrible how they go into these black communities or these not even to say lower class, just people who are people of color, marginalized people. You go into these communities and it's like you want to help them and you want to be so much a part of it. You're getting all of your funding from these marginalized people, and then you go and you take advantage of them. I mean, like, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like these people are at fault as well.
Of course.
Excuse me for speaking out on that, but I have to speak out on that because they played their part in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been prevented. If the people of that store, the owners of that store, were actually there paying attention and, seeing what was going on.
The girl called the owner and he told her to call the police.
You feel me?
So and then she was like, they're killing this man. So he said, they'll call the police on the police. Just call them on the police.
How are we gonna call the
again.
police on the police?
They're here.
You know.
And then
that's the scary part.
And that's
what's scary.
And that was the first thing that was like, I don't like Cup Foods.
You know.
After that.
I'm surprised that it didn't go up in flames.
After George Floyd Square was created and established, and there was a lot of food vendors there, especially like in the summer, springtime, early fall, when like things were popping off. Cup Foods put in, I think it was with either city council or with the police department to push out the food vendors so that they can continue selling their food, so they can monopolize on food sales. You know,
and it's like, of course, nobody wanted to go in there. Literally. Like, I'm going to just be honest, and I'm going to keep it 100 right now. But, like, I was one of those people that was protesting the Cup Foods. Like, I would be out there days straight. I would never go in there, but I was doing you know what I'm saying? I was protesting.
How is it still standing?
I was protesting it, but now it's
apartments
so crazy.
Above it, I believe.
You know, I'm seeing so many people saying, fuck Cup Foods and all this stuff. And it's just like, you should have had that same energy a year ago. Because these people are not... These people don't care about us at the end of the day. They care about the money that we're bringing into their shop. Yeah. They're caring that we're feeding their families. We have been feeding their families in their neighborhood for years.
They turn their back on us quick as hell.
Those owners can act like they're allies. They can act like they are really for us, but they're really they're not. They were literally working with the police. They had police there every weekend. It's public information. Search Cup Foods. All you got to do is search Cup Foods. You will see all the information and know that they were working with the police. So the simple fact that you're in a predominantly black neighborhood, in an area where you know most of the people that come there are predominantly black, you sell food that predominantly black people would buy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like you guys are targeting us.
It's a setup.
It's a setup.
It's a setup.
And then you're working with the police at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and knowing that the police are killing our people at record numbers and for no reason. And then you tell your staff member over, mind you, $20. Let me reiterate that. $20. You know what I'm saying? Like, $20.
Like, that was the last $20 that the company was ever going to see.
A fake $20 bill, you literally could have took the fake $20 bill and told them to leave. But then they called the owner, and the owner told them to call the police. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand it. I feel like it's super disrespectful that they are even still allowed to be open. So many businesses around that area don't, you know, it's blocked off. There's Smoke in the Pit. There's another one that's over there, like, right in the midst of George Floyd Square. And it's like, these people can't get the regular traffic that they're probably used to. And it's all at the hands of Cup Foods, if you think about it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And Cup Foods is still getting...
Selling T-shirts and shit.
Selling T-shirts. Selling water bottles. They still have their stuff up on DoorDash and any type of food places. You can still order food from them. How is this possible? Why are people still supporting somewhere like Cup Foods when really Cup Foods was really the root of it all?
That's true.
I
mean, besides the police, but they were the sole proprietors of that situation.
It just makes me mad when I think about stuff like that, because it's like, you come in these neighborhoods and it's
what
almost
other businesses are going to do this to?
It's almost like you have and Smoke in the Pit and all these other ones around
that area. I need to go there.
Area,
I've never been there.
They're all black-owned businesses. That's even worse.
There's a few barbershops on that block.
It's even worse to me. There's a black-owned barbershop. There's a black-owned laundromat. It's so even worse in that aspect, because not only have you aided the police in taking a black man's life, an unarmed black person's life, and like, you also contributed to that fact. And then now you're also stopping these other black businesses from getting business, because, not saying that George Floyd Square, I love the fact that it's there, no justice, no streets, but at the same time, it's all boils down to Cup Foods. If they wouldn't have made that one mistake of the owner telling their cashier to call the police over a $20 fake bill, these places will be thriving.
But it was an overdose, right?
You know, but
Some
they claim it was
bullshit.
an overdose. Like, let's
Put your
keep it
knee on my
100.
neck for 8 minutes. I'm
Yep.
probably gonna croak too.
Do you guys know that they caught George Floyd one time and like he had swallowed like 7 pills, I think it was.
I heard about that. Yeah.
What did they do? They let him go.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that this person, if y'all claim, oh, it was a drug overdose and blah, 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 after swallowing 7 pills, they were okay, you let him go. But this time he deserved to be killed because of it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
make up
Doesn't
your
make
mind.
sense.
What do you guys want to do? You know, like, it's not making sense. And the facts are blatant and out on the table.
Yeah.
And it's like, the government literally acts like they don't exist, but we're seeing it on
All
live
these
TV.
white people are clinging on to
You know?
some situation that doesn't have to do with the
Exactly.
police.
Exactly.
Back the blue.
Exactly.
All that bullshit.
Exactly. We could back the blue if they actually protected and served. They're not protecting and serving when they are literally shooting people, whether it's lethal, whether it's not lethal.
They're confused.
Anytime you're
They're getting
shooting
confused.
somebody over something that's minuscule, especially like a misdemeanor or a traffic stop, there's a problem within the police. There's a problem within the government. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's not normal. That's not natural. To just walk up and feel okay with shooting somebody.
And call it a
You know,
mistake.
Like,
Say, oops.
that's not a mistake when you shoot somebody.
Not just once either. Like, there's a couple rounds. that
Even
went
if
off.
he lived,
Yeah.
imagine the emotional, mental, physical trauma for the rest of this person's life.
I wouldn't be able to do
You
it.
know what I'm saying? Even if they were alive right now to tell the story, imagine the trauma of that. Knowing
Yeah.
that you have experienced getting shot by the police over a traffic stop.
That's what his girlfriend probably feels.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just getting to be too much. There's so many factors that are within it. A lot of people are scared to talk about, you know, some
That's
of the stuff,
true.
like as far as cup foods and stuff. A lot of times people didn't want to protest with me because they felt like, oh, these people at Cup Foods are a big, you know, threat. They're going to come after you. Honestly, I'm not worried about that. What
Right.
I'm worried about is making sure that my people get treated correctly,
Mm-hmm.
fairly, treated as equal, like human beings. When you call the police over a $20 fake bill and you watch a man be murdered and you do nothing about it personally, if it was my store,
We're part of the problem.
I would be giving away free stuff. I would be donating
Right.
all of my profits to George Floyd's family. I will be making sure that every black person in the community feels as comfortable as possible, knows that there will never be any police. There will never be violence in this area. There
They're
will never
real
be,
quiet.
You know what I'm saying? They're real quiet.
quiet.
They're super quiet. They're too quiet.
They probably got
And
paid
that
off.
lets you know
Yep.
They
that
probably got
because
paid
it's all
off.
blown over, of course they got paid off. I know they got paid to, you know what I'm saying, make sure that area, whatever.
Right.
But it's just so crazy because even some of the owners and the people that work there have been caught on video doing, like, you know, some questionable things. And it's like,
It's weird.
are you guys with the police or are you guys just trying to make money for you and your family and be a business and be in this black neighborhood and support the people that are in the neighborhood? Which one do you want to do?
They're trying to do both without the black support.
They're trying
Yep.
to do both, and they're trying to be able
Which
to
I get because they're a
benefit off of both.
business, you know.
Yep.
I get it, but at the same time, I don't get it because these are also people
They're
of
trying to
color
wash
that
their
we're
hands,
talking about. You
you
know what
know?
I'm saying?
Yeah, they
it's
are.
even worse when it's also people of color, but
Right.
it just goes to show how deep the black hate is. And you know what I'm saying? It goes really to show how deep that is to the point where
While they're serving the community, it
while
doesn't
they're
make
serving
sense.
the community,
Go somewhere
you will
else. then.
have you're working with the police literally. In that, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you go somewhere on Broadway and you go to the gas station and that gas station price is higher than any other place you've ever been to, knowing that there's nothing but marginalized people living right in this area. You know, like,
Right.
it's one of those type of things with Cup Foods. It's
Yeah.
like they try to portray it like, oh, whatever, we're just trying to make our money. And if you're just trying to make your money, do that. Don't put black people's lives at risk.
Right.
Don't put anybody's lives at risk.
And then be hush about it.
You know, and then be quiet about it. You guys should be at the Cup Foods. All of these people in Cup Foods, the owners
They
and
should be
everything,
front
they
lines.
should be at the forefront of every protest and every rally and everything.
How long you been out here for?
If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you will be arrested. If you continue to obstruct, resist, and/or interfere with peace officers, you will be violating Minnesota State Statute
So when you see the officers with the flashing lights, you'll know that they're the ones who are going to shoot you.
Fuck 12!
Luckily, we don't see any yet. No one's really pressing the lines. But it's just a matter of time before they start pressing these lines.
Leave the area and disperse to the north.
The second they start moving is the second they start shooting. But like I said, once you see the flashing lights on top of the guns, those are the ones that are going to be shooting. So no one's pressing the lines because they've been very aggressive for the whole night. So just know things are about to begin pressed here in a minute. We're not resting. Everything's boarded up here, as you can see. Motherfuckers been looting for the last couple days. Shout out to the Pumpkin Munch. That bitch been staying alive. But here in a minute, they're gonna start pressing the lines. Oh, we can start pressing.
Should we bring the car over here?
No.
So that way we can skirt off easy?
Hell no. Because you're gonna have to start running here in a bit. You don't want to run to your car and be behind lines.
Yeah, true though.
You want to be 10 steps ahead of them, not behind them, period. So they've been shooting tear gas at us. They've been fucking hitting us with bullets. But with the tear gas, we've been able to cover them with buckets and cones and throw them back at them. So if you're out here, make sure you have hot gloves, buckets, or at least a cone. That way you can cover the tear gas, or if you have the gloves, you can throw it back at them. Remember, leaf blowers are key too.
If we don't get no justice, you don't get no peace. If we don't get no justice, you don't get no peace.
It's gonna be a matter of time. No one's flexing the front lines, but they will start moving in. See that flashing light right there? That light right there, that's coming right there in front of us. I know it's kind of hard to see because of the glare, but those are the ones that are aimed to shoot, like the solo shooters.
You are in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609705, unlawful assembly. If you do not cease your unlawful behavior and disperse peaceably, you will be arrested. If you continue to obstruct, resist, and/or interfere with peace officers,
They haven't been
you will be
pressing
violating
lines,
Minnesota State Statute
but they have been using legal force.
609.50, obstructing legal process, which will be an additional crime.
Leah wants to move back because they started throwing stuff.
Oh yeah, they are throwing stuff. I just saw it, yeah. So once people start throwing shit, it's time to move around.
Whoop our ass for not doing shit. We ain't gotta throw shit at them. They gonna beat us up for nothing.
Yeah, it's about to start going down. The crowd's starting to throw stuff. And the second that happens, well, then obviously, you know. Let's go. Let's go. It's my roommate right here. What's up, baby? I love it.
Give your testimony to the jury about this fucked up incident. Police and red said it with authority. Because the niggas on the street is a majority of gang. I'm stepping. Motherfucking walking is capping. It's not.
People are throwing stuff. They're looking for people who are throwing shit to probably hit them with the rubber bullets. Share this live stream. We're live. Badcat Show, Brooklyn Center. They haven't been flanking or pressing the front lines, but the crowd's starting to throw stuff, so pretty soon here everyone's gonna start getting aggressive. But it is what it is. Shit, we going up. But they have been super aggressive tonight, even before the curfew, which is very unheard of, so we're not resting. National Guard out here, thick as fuck.
They're not funding all of the stuff that's going into George Floyd Square. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's just like there's so many factors and there's so many people that need to be held accountable. And there's so many people that don't want to talk about it because of the fear. Yeah. But I'm not going to let the fear of the police, the government, anybody stop me from making sure I inform people and let people know what's really going on out here. And let people know who needs to be held accountable. And Cup Foods needs to be held accountable for George Floyd. Yeah. This officer, the whole police force, the whole government, they all need to be held accountable for all of these killings of unarmed black people who are not a threat to them. People need to be held accountable. Even when people are held accountable, like I said earlier, it doesn't mean the emotional, the mental, you know what I'm saying? And even physical in some senses.
And there's like little kids that are watching the news and social media asking their parents like, oh, like what's going to happen? Like, I know there's such thing as consequence. Like, that's not how you like not train the youth, but that's not how you like spread that knowledge. When someone does something wrong and it's clear as day, there's something in your soul that speaks to you like, oh, that ain't right. You know what I mean? And for someone to gaslight that, it's not what you're supposed to teach to our youth, you know.
They shouldn't have to see a video of an unarmed black man being killed on national TV to be like, oh, this is what's going on.
This is our reality. You know what I'm saying?
This is our reality.
And it can go either way. These kids could be like, Kyle, whatever the hell his name was, who shot up Wisconsin. Dude, you know, it can go either way.
You know, and it's like, it's
which
so
is scary
crazy.
Too.
It's super scary.
Underage kids just strapped up and like feel like they have to protect their target or whatever the fuck.
Or to be so scared as to
we don't know what's gonna happen every time we go out there and protest.
Like I have two little brothers, and honestly, so they have these Nerf guns, and I'm like, okay, bring it to my backyard, let's all have a Nerf war, blah blah blah. And my little brothers, when I tell you, they had the most serious face on their look, and it broke my heart. They were just like, no, we can't be seen outside with guns, not even fake guns, they'll shoot us, they'll kill us. Like, my brother started panicking. I have a 12-year-old brother and a 9-year-old brother. They instantly started panicking when I brought
Rice.
You know,
that is Tamir Rice.
Exactly, Tamir Rice. And that, you know, when I bring that up, and I'm like, oh, it's fenced off and it's closed in the backyard, and they were like, no, we're anywhere outside. We're not playing with Nerf guns. And for a kid to have to say that because they're in fear that they will get shot or killed by the police.
That's absurd.
Wake up, people.
Right.
Wake up, government. Wake up, police officers. This is serious. No kid should have to be in fear. No kid should have to be in fear of their life, especially not over a Nerf gun.
While you're trying to play,
you know what I'm saying? Trying to play and trying to be a kid. You can't even be a kid without being profiled.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch it up for a second. I kind of want to talk about riots and stuff. Like, what's the best preparation when it comes to like going out there? Like, obviously, like gas masks, but like a lot of people have been asking me lately. You know, I think you could break this down.
Me, because I was like, I don't have all my protest stuff. Is that why you're?
I mean, there's cones, hockey sticks, gloves to throw back tear gas.
So hockey sticks, really thick gloves, like your snowboarding gloves, or what's the mechanics gloves, stuff like that. Those are good for throwing back tear gas.
Don't be afraid to do it either.
Snow blowers are really nice, or like leaf blowers are good because you can throw the smoke back towards the police.
That's true.
Otherwise, having like a traffic cone, you can put it on top of the tear gas and then pour water over it. That's a really good way to get that neutralized. Otherwise, I like to have a fire resistant jacket. I have mechanics gloves just so that I don't have my prints anywhere, and also just for keeping my hands good. I have a general like first aid kit, gauze, what is it? Burn cream, stuff like that. Also will have
Protective eyewear.
Antacid, protective eyewear, either like a full respirator, or I will have like my mask and then goggles on. And then I also like to have a bandana so that if they do start putting out tear gas, I can get it wet really quick and then put that over my mouth.
Gotcha.
And that will help with tear gas more than a mask will. Antacid is really good for tear gas in the eyes, but obviously you don't want it in the eyes. Right. I like to do antacid and then a little like nozzle or a little like bottle with like a dispenser nozzle on it for baking soda water. That's also really good.
Yep.
But one of the best things is just straight up water.
Yep.
And then
no
obviously milk. No. Water is better than milk. It can, for like immediate effects, for like making it feel better in the
vinegar
moment.
too. That's happened to me.
Vinegar's
they put vinegar, like, or they spray me with the vinegar water.
Vinegar I feel like is pretty good. But yeah, just because like milk will make you feel better in the moment, but it won't help the prolonged effects of it. So it's better to use the water so that we can rinse it out first. I would say do it like water, and then if you have milk, you can do it after water.
Yep.
Okay.
And then it's obviously good to have things like water, granola bars, like snacks, because I want to be there out very long.
Energy
umbrella.
is key.
Yep.
I like to have my umbrella, a couple of umbrellas with me.
Yep.
I like to have a really packed bag, apparently.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people just go out there and don't know what they're doing, you know?
Yeah. Well, I like to do, like, part medic, part protest. Yep. So that way I can switch it over when need be.
Man, I've gotten fucked up from, like, tear gas and pepper spray, and just, like, people will come up to you and just, I can't see, you know? And it feels so good that people are actually out there looking out for other people and, like, are equipped like that, because shit goes down.
Yep,
shit goes
definitely.
down.
Because 9 times out of 10, there's never really a need for pepper spray or tear gas. It's just to control people and put fear in people.
So last year,
they do it, though.
while I
they
was,
use it.
there was one of the protests at, was it 35th and Nicollet, or by that precinct? Is that 4th precinct?
Yep.
A block south of that, there is a shop that was targeted like the night before. So me and a couple of friends sort of were watching that block for the night. And as curfew hit, there's, you know, a lot of bangs going on. Police definitely got really heavy and definitely wanted to show some action, like, right as curfew hit. And there's this guy that was in his car, like, trying to leave. And they pepper sprayed him in his car. So his entire inside of his car was pepper sprayed. Like, he pulled up, like, help me. And so, you know, like, we had to whip everything out. But
that's terrible, though.
Yeah.
It's good to just have that, even if you aren't a medic. Because you probably going to deal with some shit. So it's good to at least be somewhat prepared, especially for tear gas.
Keep your windows up.
Oh, yeah.
When
don't.
you are going by police officers. Honestly, like, I was rolling down my windows, blasting fuck the police and all that shit. And I was just like, you know what? When I get close to them, I'm going to just roll that up, because what if they just decide to stick something in here and shoot me or something? You know, you just never know. So.
Well, there was
if they need to talk to you, talk through the glass.
Last year, people were filming outside of their homes during curfew, and, like, the police were pepper spraying into their homes. You can't open up.
They were walking right up on the steps. Like, I was.
That's
so
insane.
there was a huge march that literally went all the way from George Floyd Square all the way to the other side of Lake Street, and, like, you know where that bridge where they're doing the construction at, right off of I don't remember what that is right there, but it's right off of Lake Street where the old Kmart used to be.
Yep.
That
bridge,
the
35W.
Yeah, the 35W. And we were going there, and they were just walking up to people that were on their steps and, like, spraying just so they can go inside of their house.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Bad.
Like, that is a control.
That's a crazy
tactic.
type of control.
That is a
That's
fear
unnecessary.
tactic. That is unnecessary, and they get away with it.
Yeah.
They never have to answer for stuff like that. And it's like us being civilians, we can never just walk up to another person and spray them with mace and not have to answer for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, in one way or another, you have to answer for it.
And this type that type of shit just adds more power trip to these local cops.
Yep.
Definitely.
Especially all the new ones too. Yeah.
Well, this is what they're training into.
Yeah.
Like, these people that are training in this newer police force, they're teaching them to kill us.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not.
It was proven.
Yeah. It's like, we got your back no matter what. Whatever you go through.
In a year. Within a year.
You know? And I'm sure those aren't the only ones. You know, there's so many different places.
And that's just here.
That's just here in Minnesota. We had 2 huge ones. And, you know, after all the movement behind the George Floyd, you would think that it would be different.
No.
And you would think that the police would be like, hey, you know, this is not right. Like,
I
feel
know
like
it's not right.
More officers and more...
A lot of them have resigned, though.
Yeah. But I feel like more of them...
But that doesn't help the actual system itself.
Right.
That's very true.
Exactly.
I feel like more of them, when they are getting into it, when they get out there and they meet with the protesters, if you honestly feel like this isn't right deep down inside, join the protesters. What's stopping you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's stopping you besides the fear tactics from the police? What's going to happen to me if I actually do join the protesters? That person might end up missing. We might not ever know that they even existed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just how fucked up our government is. That's just how, you know, it's ridiculous to think that we live in a world like that where we can't even trust the people that are here to protect and serve.
This is the time of change.
You know, it's the time of change.
It sucks that it had to be this way, but like something has to change. And you know, these people that died, they took real big L's.
Yeah,
and
real big L's.
We just have to have
Something
people learn from it, though.
It's a weird way to put it.
You know, it's not really taking an L because they're gone. There's no way to restore another human being's life. Right. So it's like, when we're sitting here talking about it, we're talking about it, but this person will never be able to, you know what I'm saying, get justice. There's no justice. You know, like, even within the justice, there's still no justice because this person is still gone.
Because people are like, oh, yeah, well, the city paid out George Floyd's family X amount of $1 million. Like, isn't that enough? It's like,
they don't want millions. They want their family member back. They want their loved one back.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
No, I know, but people are saying that, though. It's just,
it's
cringy.
It's insensitive. And it's very, you know,
cringy.
In Minnesota, you know how they say that Minnesota nice? It's the Minnesota passive aggressive.
It is.
So a lot of these
really is.
A lot of these people that are like Minnesota nice, they will act like they're all for you and they will wear the Black Lives Matter mask. But do Black Lives really matter to you? Like
that,
you know,
lady
like,
who
are they an
shot,
ally or are they an accomplice?
Or they are an accomplice that's trying to just get in with us and that passive aggressive shit. Like
what I was thinking earlier, like that lady cop probably had a Black Lives Matter sign in her front yard.
You know, like
honestly,
you just never know.
I'd bet on it.
You never know. You never know. You just really never know with people, and it's sad to think, like, I don't know. I would rather there not be racism at all, but if you're going to be a racist or you're going to be prejudiced or you're going to be hateful towards anybody, why don't you do it up front and not be a coward?
Speak up on it so we can
shut
that shit down.
I miss living in the South a little bit.
Yeah, the
like,
South.
That shit shows.
Because in some way, it's a lot safer for me. Like, I know what someone's about before I'm even friends with them.
That's true.
I'm friends with you for 3 months, and I find out that you're a racist, and you think that I don't deserve just as much rights as you do. Like, what? Yeah. I'm like, now I'm in your house right now. Like, the front door is locked. Yeah. Like, I'm trapped in here. Like,
you gonna tell me where you're already in my space?
Yeah.
Why don't you let me know who you are when I first see you, so that way I can be like,
I'm wasting my time and my energy.
That's how it is with all these police. You never know anymore.
Yep, it's passive aggressive, and you know, even back in when all this racism stuff was going on, the civil rights and all that stuff, even the police officers, when there were black police officers, they were just as racist as the white people. Yeah. And you think about it, that was probably because they were in fear of their own lives. If they disrespected the police or if they went against them, what would happen to them?
Oh, shit probably happened in the department.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
they earned their way up. Their family would be good. You know, they got whitewashed. They do one thing where they try to go and side with their own people, that's their whole entire life gone like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to think about that when it comes to the police and the government. If you're here to protect and serve, do that. If you don't want to do that, be a criminal and get locked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something
live
else.
Your life. Do something else.
Do some MMA fighting or something.
Don't just join the police force just to be racist and be able to kill black people.
They want that authority.
You know, they want that authority. They need
over
that.
us in the community.
A level of power and control because they don't have that much control as part of their own personal life, so they have to extend that out.
Oh, yeah. Anybody who can go out and just pull out a gun and shoot somebody, something is terribly wrong with you. And, like, for them to be on the police force,
trying to protect people.
Think about how much more deranged they are to actually be a police officer. I'm going to go sign up for a job that's supposed to protect people, but at the same time, I'm doing it because I want to kill people and get away with
That's
it.
what
you know,
it is.
Like,
that's what it stems from.
Protect and serve. It's never
You don't sign up to
serve.
protect and serve like, all right, I'm trying to fuck some shit up.
How, like,
Honestly.
literally during police training, they have to get tased. They have to go through the whole dog training.
Let me mistake
You know
my
what I'm saying?
taser,
Like,
too, during
you know?
training. I'm going to shoot you in the
So
head.
you go through getting tased. You go through getting shot with a bulletproof vest on. You go through getting, like, attacked by a dog and all that training just so you can be able to go and kill another human being. Think about how messed up in the mind you have to be already to do that. But then you actually
you
go
have that
out
main
and you kill
mindset
somebody.
that's not changing.
You know?
You can go through all that training,
You
but
know?
like after a while, you're like, you still know what
that's
your
a deranged
goal
person,
is.
and that's
Yeah.
somebody, like, there should be pre-qualifications that allow people to be a part of this.
It's like a Karen with a gun.
Yeah.
Karen's with
Pretty
guns.
much.
What's
That's
her name?
really
Her
what
name
it
was
is.
Kim, right? That's close.
Kim, Karen,
Yeah.
all the same.
Seriously, that's what it's like.
All the same. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Let's get to this protest. We're about to
Oh,
head out to
yeah.
Brooklyn
Oh, yeah.
Center. We got curfew at
It's getting
10. It's
late.
8 o'clock.
Yep.
Oh, it is 8? Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm gonna attach some
Long
footage
episode.
onto this episode, and shit's about to get live. Shit's about to get real. All this shit
Yes,
we're talking
yes.
about is gonna be the proof in the pudding right here.
Oh yeah.
And this is no bullshit. This is gonna be live
This is our lives.
from the Badcat Show.
They're slowly inching though. They got all those ties. You see all those ties?
Oh, no, I've not seen
I'm probably gonna head out here in a minute. I don't trust it. Yeah, I don't trust it. Oh yeah, they're starting to flank. They're starting to flank. Let's call the car. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. They're starting to flank. I think Nia's car is ready. It's time to go. It's time to go. I don't know. Knowing her, she's fucking probably so front lines. Fuck. You should kill your lights though. Kill those lights. I would even kill the motor.
Huh?
I would even kill the motor too.
Why?
Just no attention. Turn this off.
Where's Nia? I don't know. We didn't see her.
She knows where the car is.
There she is. Yeah, come on. Come on, baby. Come on.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Come on.
Come on.
I can't make her run down the letter.
Come on, girl. Backseat. Hey, Nia. Why she run the wrong direction?
No, she's right next to you. What the fuck?
Oh shit! I thought someone else. All right, we gone. We gone. We gone.
They tried to block us in.
Yes,
While
that's what I'm
Maya
saying.
went over the whole little gas station curve.
We're about to do the same thing.
Yeah, she's okay. She's in her car.
It's a wrap.
We almost got trapped.
It's a wrap. We did. It's a wrap.
I ran too fast.
Oh, my mama. It's time to go.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.